When I was governor of California, I saw a tremendous change from the first year I was governor to the last year I was governor. And I saw that the fire season extended. We started the fire season earlier and earlier, and it got later and later. And then eventually I was told, Governor, you have to understand there is really no fire season. I mean, the fires are gonna be all year round.
We passed it properly, Brown.
And so that's when I realized it was kind of a wake-up call, when I realized something has changed here. I knew that there was a reason for that, and I just wanted to check into it and really do some research on that, because it was very clear that climate change had a lot to do with those things.
So what I'll do is just go through, give an overall briefing of what's going on in the fire. And as far as big picture, expect the trees to be pretty weakened just from drought.
I'd say just send a snag team down.
And one up
And-
as well.
So the past couple days, we had a high pressure system move in, so giving us really hot and dry conditions. Definitely ripe for active fire behavior.
They are talking about drought when I was young. I was 11 or something like this.
She told me that before the Civil War, she had lived through another disaster.
So is this year after year, less
Year
rain?
after year, government doesn't try to help in any kind of way.
And that the government's response made people so angry, they were eager to take to the streets. She said, I couldn't understand the Civil War if I didn't understand what happened in the drought.
Most of farmers, they live to Damascus, to homes,
So they moved from the countryside
yes.
to the city.
to the city. They live in very poor area in Damascus. Like you can find 10 person in one room.
Wow.
If you notice that most of people in revolution, they are from countryside of Syria.
Later, I learned that this drought was the worst in Syria's modern history, and that it happened in the 4 years just before the revolution. Over 1 million people were displaced, and according to the United Nations, more than 2 million were forced into extreme poverty.
It's really scary, really scary.
And this drought was part of a trend. According to a study by the U.S. government's National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, over the last 40 years, climate change has caused the Mediterranean region to dry out, resulting in longer, more severe droughts. The places in red are getting the worst of it, and Syria is right at the epicenter. I also come across a confidential U.S. diplomatic cable written 2 years before the revolution. It contains some dire predictions. A UN official stationed in Syria feared the drought would throw the entire country into chaos.